Okay, back for chapter 2 of The Man of the Hour. This time, Proverbs by Solomon, son of David, king of Israel. Okay. My son, verse 1. My son, my son. Okay, let's go. If you accept my words and treasure up my commandments, if you make your ear attentive to wisdom and your mind open to discernment. Remember what I said in the last episode. When he says my son, he's speaking from the standpoint of our Heavenly Father. That's why he says, treasure up my commandments. It's like Solomon didn't write he didn't write Exodus, but he's referring to those commandments, this is where a lot of these Masons get twisted. Like, you're messing up in the fact that, like, you can be a mouthpiece for God without being the Almighty. Like, humble yourself, bro. Like, jeez, humble yourself, bruh. Like, look at Moses, the one that literally went up to get the commandments. He literally wrote it with his hands. But if Moses was a Mason, after he wrote those commandments with his hand, he stopped parading himself around like Pike, bro. Like, dude, humility. But I digress. If you call to understanding and cry aloud to discernment, if you seek it as you do silver and search for it as for treasures. This is calling out those same guys. The famous, renowned synagogue, bro. Like, you're so famous. They've been talking about you before you were born, bro. You're so famous. If you seek it as you do silver, like, if you pursued God with that same zeal that you pursue the almighty dollar or Bitcoin or whatever currency you wanna merge the loot together with, cast in your loot with me. Let us have one lot. But yeah, I digress. If you seek it as you do silver, this understanding, if you seek it as you do treasures, then that's when you will understand the fear of the Lord, and that's when you attain that knowledge of God. Knowledge of God, like knowing of God, and knowledge of God, God-like knowledge. So it's twofold in that statement. But you don't get it from initiation rituals and a bunch of rhetoric books filled with in my opinion, like rhetoric I can't really understand, you know. Maybe it's because I'm not initiated, you know. But yeah, my bad. For the Lord grants wisdom, knowledge and discernment are by his decree. If you've been granted wisdom and you don't have the fear of the Lord, obviously you don't have discernment, but let me help you. Test and discern. Where has that knowledge come from? And when you give yourself the truthful answer, are you ready for the consequences? Let's go to a quote from our buddy. Okay, this is, yeah, wait. Uh, I'm trying to find the exact one. I'm trying to find it. Because exactly, okay, I found it. Okay, let's go. uh that we must say to the crowd, that which we must say to the crowd is, we worship a God, but it is the God that one adores without superstition. To you, blah 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 blah. We say this that you may repeat it to these degrees. The Masonic religion should be by all of us initiates of the high degrees, maintained in the purity of the Luciferian doctrine. If Lucifer were not God, would Adonai culminate him? Yeah, blah 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 blah. This guy has discernment clearly, so he can tell where his knowledge is coming from. You know, like, can you, and are you ready to how will I put it? Like, can you bear the weight like he does? You know. Most people don't even know where the knowledge comes from. You know, at least on this one, I know my knowledge comes from the fear of the Lord, which leads me into the understanding of all things, which guides me to the knowledge of God. But yeah, how about you? Where does yours come from? Yeah, I just wanted to shout out my boy Pike. Alright, let's continue. He reserves ability for the upright and is a shield for those who live blamelessly. The Lord grants wisdom, knowledge and discernment are by his decree. He reserves ability for the upright and is a shield for those who live blamelessly. What's that one verse? Your righteousness is a path for me. Okay, I'm gonna take this one from his father. David says here in Psalms, lead me in the right path, O Lord. Or let's say King James, lead me, O Lord, in the righteousness because of mine enemies. Make thy way straight before my face. When you're living that blameless, righteous life, it guards you from your enemies, you know. It's you know, they are eager to scoff and to attack you and terrorize you, but that righteousness of God, it shields you from your enemies. It's a shield for those who live blamelessly. Guarding the path of justice protecting the ways of those loyal to him. You will then understand what is right, just, and equitable. Every good course. For wisdom will enter your mind, and knowledge will delight you. Foresight will protect you, and discernment will guard you. It will save you from the way of evil men. And pay attention to this one. From men who speak duplicity. Ironic, I just shouted out my boy Pike. Duplicity, what's that? Archaic meaning was doubleness. Doubleness. The as above so below boys, they speak of, oh, there can be a light without darkness. Like, bro, what? So I must kill my fellow brother to love him, or I must steal to know, or let me be fair. I have to hate to love, or you're most likely saying all this duplicity talk to excuse or to cover their iniquity, like an umbrella. That knowledge, where does it come from? Like, Pike told us, but have you accepted what Pike said? Men who speak duplicity, who leave the paths of rectitude to follow the way of darkness, who rejoice in doing evil and exult in the duplicity of evil men, Duplicity will only get you so far. And sure, you may be like a young bud, like a tender budling. You're still doing like two up, two down, and you're like a kid, bro, and you're just using it to like, oh, I lie sometimes, but I also tell the truth, like two up, two down. The Pikes, they're using to excuse evil that you can't imagine. That's what they're using it for. You're just using it like casually. The devils are using it to excuse demonic deeds. Will you accept the source of the knowledge now? Or would you walk in the ways of darkness until you become those men who are exalted for their duplicity? Men whose paths are crooked and who are devious in their course. It will save you from the forbidden woman, from the alien woman whose talk is smooth, from the alien woman whose talk is smooth. I myself have fallen victim to this one. So trust me, when you're walking in righteousness, when your path is blameless, you avoid the pitfall in the way. You don't fall for the trap of the forbidden woman who talks smooth with her tongue. Like, oh, you be like God. Oh, it's just a bite item, you know? You're saved from this. Who forsakes the companion of a youth and disregards the covenant of our God. This is a very important one, because back then, oh, women will like have a, it was, I won't say, I'll avoid the word. I say like a young girl had a young man she was betrothed to, and then they grow up together, and then they are married, and then they enter a covenant under God. And that's marriage, and then the family, and so forth and so on. This kind of alien woman, yeah, she talks smooth, but she forsakes her companion. You're gonna marry her, she's gonna leave. It's built in her. She's gonna betray you for death. She's gonna betray the covenant of her God. That binding that she has undergone, she's gonna reject it. You avoid such a woman when you're walking blamelessly, because remember, it's a shield. It's a shield. It's a shield. It's a shield. Uprightness. Your uprightness may not even appeal to her, which is a blessing, you know? That's the shield part. No Nick Fury. Like, real talk. She sees who you are, and she's like, that's not my type of guy. Thank you, God, for protecting me. When these women were telling me like, oh, Ife, you're so strange, I used to look up and be like, God, like, why am I alien? Like, I was a foolish man, bro. I hadn't gone to the Bible to read. She's the alien. Your uprightness is acting as a shield. You're repelling her. Sometimes we have to like fear God, so we come into the understanding of these things. So we are not being blessed and then cursing at God for blessing us. My mistake. Like, I know I'm forgiven, but I still recognize. Because I'll ask, like, why am I made this way? But your uprightness is a shield for me in the presence of alien women. I continue. Her house sinks down to death, and her course leads to the shades. These strange witches who have pledged to death, and demonic entities, bro. That's why you disregard the covenant of marriage. It's not because you're so independent. It's because you're cursed, alien woman. Your house must go down to death. Every relationship you have must die. Solomon, it's law. Like, stop running from the law of God, bro. I continue. All who go to her cannot return and find again the paths of life. I thank God that that was not my portion. I did feel the temptation, I'll be honest, to just, when she goes down to death with that relationship, the temptation to sink in with her. But like, free will, I will not die in darkness. Repeat it. Let that be your mantra. And you'll be like Solomon. Regardless of how many degrees you've been initiated into, you won't die in darkness because you willed it. And you ask God to support that will. And in fact, you went a step further. You said, God, your will be done. And God always wills for us to have a perfect end. I'll read the Bible first for that. These are all things that Solomon was dealing with. Remember, I mentioned in the other verse, in the other episode, stranger, wickeder, more alien women that would take his offspring before false, strange gods for ritual sacrifice. This is a learned man, bro. Darkness has swept through his house. He's telling you this is how it goes. Her house goes down to death. Her offspring go before the altar of death. She's an alien witch. It's not funny. This is real life. This is your life. It was my life. I was gonna be like, yeah, let me go down to death too. Like, but I will not die in darkness. You gotta pray that, bro. Like, you check about guy, bro. I don't know who you are. You gotta pray it. Like, I will not die in darkness. Like, yeah, you're enlightened. Cool. Do you wanna die worshipping that God Pike just said you worship? If you wanna, then cool. Go down into her house of darkness. But if not, repeat my prayer. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Obviously it's an expected good end because it's of God, you know. But yeah, I continue. And I thank God I was able to find again the path of life. So follow the way of the good and keep to the path of the just. For the upright will inherit the earth, the blameless will remain in it, while the wicked will vanish from the land, and the treacherous will be rooted out of it. The upright will inherit the earth, When? I don't know. But just as surely as righteousness protects you, the alien woman must go into death. The upright will inhabit the earth one day. There will be no like Satanism and Masonism and the rest of this nonsense. Like, our children are growing wiser by the day, and their children grow wiser, and their children grow wiser. The ironic thing is, like, your children are like, you're forcing them deeper into darkness. One day they will vanish and be no more. The upright will inhabit the earth. Like, do you want to be like in, like, let's say 50, okay, that's too far. Let's say 3024. You want to be like Nimrod or you want to be Solomon? It's really up to you, because regardless of how much dilly dallying you do, like, yeah, you can pay a judge to say that, like, oh, you're not guilty of a crime that the Most High knows you are. When it's time, there will come a guy that will judge you and judge your works, and you'll be able to do nothing because you're dead. You're just gonna sit by and wait and receive your judgment, bro. You know? I'm not gonna reveal too much, but just know, like, you can choose. You can literally choose, bro. You can choose. You can literally choose how you're gonna be judged. I will not die in darkness. Believe it, and it will be. Like, that's what you guys teach, right? Manifestation. Will. That's what it is. Willpower. Do you want to die in darkness? If you want to, you will. So yeah, that concludes Proverbs 2. And yeah, this is just 2 chapters of this guy, and I'm tiring a bit. It's a lot of judgment here. Like, this is a man who knows. He was tempted by the gold and silver of the earth. So that's why when he writes, if you seek it as you do silver, you will understand the fear of the Lord. He was passionately after gold and silver. That's why he summoned countless demons, bro, to do his bidding. But this is his like when that guy wrote on his tombstone, let me find it. NASA director tombstone. Werner von Braun. You know, this guy wrote Psalms Ironic, he quoted his dad, Psalms 19 verse 1. The heavens declare, you know. This guy copped out like a pussy. Like a wimp. Solomon summoned demons and demons. He's like, nah. This can't be why I leave. Like, my legacy can't just be the keys, bro. Let me tell them the truth. If you seek for wisdom, the knowledge and fear of God, as you do for those silver trinkets, you will attain it. If you sought that understanding, that discernment, the way you seek Gucci bags, you grab it in your hand, in your mind, you will hold it, the knowledge of God. He had to tell you before he left. Like, yeah, like go play around with the keys. But when you're done and you want to have the knowledge of God, come read the Bible. This guy just copped out saying Psalm 19. Like what a fucking pussy, bro. Whoa, wimp. At least he should have like written out the full verse. He just put some numbers and letters on his grave. But it's well. Like, I can't judge him. Like, I don't know what. But I'm telling you, like, take it from Solomon, bro. I'm telling you, disregard anything I'm saying. If you want to, take it from Solomon. Solomon is your daddy in this shit, bro. Like, the checkerboard guys, the ones that like playing with demons, the ones that love to deny God. Like, he's your daddy, bro. Take it from Pop. Like, Pop is telling you, bro. The Lord grants wisdom. The Lord grants wisdom. All that other stuff is vanity, bro. That's the end of chapter 2. It's vanity. It's pure vanity. Take it from Pop. Like, Pop won't lie to you, bro. Like, he wrote the books. If you believe the books, then believe this one. This is his best book, bro. You're tripping if you disagree. In fact, you're a liar if you disagree. I'll say that, yeah. You're a liar if you disagree. This is his best book. That's the end of chapter 2. I'll see you at chapter 3.